My parents left a comfortable life in Ethiopia and immigrated to the US. They left everything back in the motherland so that me and my sister could get educated and succeed. They instilled and demonstrated the importance of education and would constantly repeat it. On top of that, not only did I grasp the idea of education being important, I learned a lot more things. I learned from their everyday lifestyle. They were my idols and I wanted to be determined and as strong as them. I learned and established my values and morals through their actions. During times of frustration and defeat, I used them as motivation, like, for example, not giving up on football. It began when I started playing football in the 6th grade. Football was a beautiful sport that I had a passion for ever since I could remember. I wasn't the biggest or the fastest, but I had a passion for it unlike no one else. I was determined to play tackle football. I remember my first time in my helmet and pads. I was ready and my adrenaline was pumping, and it was only practice. I took my first steps onto the field ready to work, and that's where the coach ruined my beautiful moment with a whistle right in my ear. We started off running non-stop, and I was struggling to catch up, and it was only the first day. Throughout practice, I felt slow, tired, and blamed it on my nerves. I was small and I was getting thrown around. I hadn't played football before, so it was new. At the end of practice, I had my doubts about football. I had imagined this moment before, and it was nothing like this. The second, the third, and the fourth practice come along, and it was all the same thing. I was not feeling it. I was in so much pain, and I was not having fun. Nothing I was doing was working. It felt like I was running into a wall. I was losing the passion I used to have. Eventually, we get a game, and everybody's ready for war. I waited to hear the coach call my name so I could play. I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited till the clock hit 0 on the scoreboard. I was so mad I couldn't play. I was very angry and I was frustrated, so I went home and I started crying. I was mad at myself and I thought I wasn't good enough. I lost all my confidence, but throughout these moments, I had my parents in my head. My parents' voice echoed in my head and I knew I couldn't quit. The week rolls around and we have a typical practice. We start hitting drills and I was ready to take my anger out on someone and put them in the dirt. My emotions got the best of me and I ended up getting put in the dirt. I got hit really hard and I couldn't get up. My head started spinning and I was in pain, in a lot of pain. I was put on the side and I couldn't practice, which meant no game. At this point, I was done. I was ready to quit. I gave up my helmet to my coach and I walked away. I was sure I wanted to quit, but again, my parents' voice echoed. I thought about everything that had happened and how football was not for me. But I knew if I quit now, I would quit anything else. The only thing that kept me going was the mental picture and voice of my parents. They never quit on anything and always made sacrifices when times got tough. I got a good understanding of their values or work ethic when we moved to the US. They were faced with many obstacles and barriers such as language, employment, income, and just American culture. I never heard them complain, not once, or give up on anything because they were determined and wanted to succeed. I learned about the most valuable lesson through their actions. Never give up. After a thorough reflection, I decided not to quit and decided to work on my game to get better. I was determined to get better and get more playing time. So I started staying after practice and working with my coach to get better. And that's what I did for the rest of the season, every practice. I started to get better, played a little bit more, got my confidence back. And eventually by the end of the season, I was a starter and I was a way better player than I was at the beginning. This is one of many obstacles that my parents' teachings helped me get through. Taught me not to give up and that failure is okay. In life, you'll have bumps and bruises and you'll get knocked down, which is a given. But getting back up and facing these obstacles is a choice.